Okay, come, let's start. Okay, without using a calculator, express blah 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 in the form of this. So this basically is just that you need to rationalize. So let me write out the question so you can see better. So it's 2 square root 3 minus 5 over square root 3 minus 2. So look at this. Okay, you cannot have surds at the denominator. So you will have to rationalize. Okay, you have to rationalize. So over here, this is 2 terms. So we're going to make use of this a square minus b square, which is equals to a plus b, a minus b. Actually, we are using this concept to rationalize this. So look at the denominator. The denominator is a minus b. So actually what I need to do is multiply by the a plus b, a plus b. So this one, make sure that it's the same thing, because this one represents one whole. When I times 1, I did not change the value at all. Integers is whole number. You can easily Google what is integer online. It give you a lot of theory about integer. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to rationalize. This is a minus b. Look at the denominator. This is a minus b. So the rationalize is a plus b over a plus b. So it will become, the numerator will be 2 square root 3 minus 5 rainbow with square root 3 plus 2. As for the denominator, don't have to write the 2 bracket. This is a minus b, a plus b. So it's actually a square minus b square. So the denominator is always a square minus b square. So my a is square root 3, put it inside. And my b is 2. Okay, so rainbow here. This one times this one. 2 square root 3 times square root 3. You must know square root 3 times square root 3 actually give you 3. So I'm going to write here. Square root 3 times square root 3 actually give you 3. So this one times this one, I will have 2, 3. Okay, because 2 and then square root 3 times square root 3 is 3. Now this rainbow will be plus 4 square root 3. This rainbow will be minus 5 square root 3. And this will be minus 10. Over a square. Square root 3 square is just 3. 2 square is 4, so it's minus 4. So let's simplify. This is 6. This is minus 10. So we have 6 minus 10. 4 square root 3 minus 5 square root 3 is the same thing like 4x minus 5x. It is like terms. So it will become minus square root 3. And denominator is a minus 1. This is negative 4 minus square root 3 over negative 1. So we're going to bring the negative up. So it means it becomes negative minus 4 minus square root 3. Rainbow the minus in. So you get 4 plus square root 3. Okay. And by comparing, see, compare this and compare this. You will see that my a is equals to 4. My b, see, square root 3, in front of square root 3, actually there's a 1. So actually, the b is actually 1. And that's why they say a and b are integers. It means that it is whole number, whole number. So of course, if when you do your rationalizing, you get a fraction for your a and b, then you get wrong, because they already hint you and tell you that your a and b is integer. Okay, please stick to the math related question in the chat. No chit chat, no other stuff. Because we are focusing on revising for coming N level. So my moderator might just block you. Please don't chat other stuff. Thank you very much. So this is question number 1. Okay. Okay, before I move on, of course, the simple kind of a rationalizing. Okay, we have things like, for example, if I have 2 square root 3 over square root 2, for example. Okay, to rationalize this type of question, you see the denominator is only one term. Only one term. So that means you just multiply by square root 2 and square root 2. So I will have 2 square root 3 square root 2 over square root 2 times square root 2 is just 2. If I have square root 3 times square root 2, it's a different number, right? So in this case, it becomes 2 square root 3 times 2 over 2. So I have 2 square root 6 over 2. Just nice, I can simplify the 2 cancel, cancel. I have square root 6. Done. Okay, so this is how you rationalize when the denominator is one term. And this is how you rationalize when a denominator has two terms. So this is how you do surds. Surds. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So question 2 is talking about a polynomial. You got to do finding the remainder. So we got to make use of the remainder theorem. Okay, remainder theorem. So take note, remainder theorem. Why is it that is saying it? Wait. Okay, remainder theorem only can apply when your divisor is linear. This is linear. Linear means x to the power of 1. Okay, so for this situation, you say, okay, so I just need to sub 4. So my P4 will be equals to 4 cubed minus 2, 4 square minus 11, 4 plus 12. And when you press the calculator, of course, you get 0. So when you get 0 means that the remainder is 0. So they ask you to find the remainder. So therefore, remainder is 0. This is using remainder theorem. Okay, so now let's move on. So they say, what can you deduce about x minus 4? Because when I do here and find that I have remainder 0, when I have remainder 0, it means x minus 4 is a factor. So in the end, we will say, okay, x minus 4 is a factor of px. Done. Okay? If it's a non-linear, then you will have to do the long division. So later, we have one question. I remember I did one question. Wait, let me see. Yeah, later we have one question whereby the divisor is non-linear. Then we use the long division. Okay, only when it's linear, you can just sub it in using remainder theorem to find the remainder. Please go to my Telegram channel and look at the question on the questions that I'm going through today. Okay, so now solve the equation px equals to 0. So before you can solve this is a cubic expression, right? You will have to factorize it. Okay, so I'm going to show here. Okay, I'm going to move a little bit here. So px, because I know that the factor is x minus 4. Okay, I'm going to bring this down first. So this is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 11x plus 12. I know that it is a factor, x minus 4. So I will have to find the quadratic factor here. Okay, so how do you find the quadratic factor? You will have to do the long division. So I'm going to do the long division over here, you see. So it will be x cubed minus 2x squared minus 11x plus 12 divided it by x minus 4. So we need to do the long division to find out how to factorize, find out what's the quadratic factor. So now, see here, see how I do the long division. Later, there's one more question of long division as well. So you have to ask yourself, what multiplied by x give me x cubed? So in this case, it is x squared. X squared times x give me x cubed. Now, we're going to do rainbow. This one times this one give you this. This times this give me minus 4x squared. And then after that, you're going to put minus. Remember to put bracket. So, minus 2 minus minus 4 means minus 2 plus 4. So, it's a positive 2x squared. Bring this down, minus 11x. So we can continue to divide. Now ask yourself, what multiplied by x give me 2x squared? So in this case, it is plus 2x. This times this, it is 2x squared. Okay, normal acad AMath study everything what O-level study. It's just that there's a few lesser topics compared to O-level. Okay, so this is still these topics are definitely applicable for AMath O-level. Long division is actually easy. Okay, follow me on this long division later. There's one more long division. Okay, so this times this, you see, this times this give us 2x squared. Now this rainbow with this give me minus 8x. Subtract, remember to always put your bracket. Okay, now this one definitely give me 0. So now I have minus 11 minus 8 means minus 11 plus 8. So I get minus 3x. Now I bring the last term down, plus 12. Now you have to ask yourself, what multiplied by x give me negative 3x? So I know I need negative 3. Negative 3 times x give me negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 4 give me plus 12. And of course, I must get remainder 0 because x minus 4 is a factor. So I must get a 0. If you don't get a 0 means maybe you do something wrong with your long division over here. Because you must know that this x minus 4 is a factor, you expect a 0. Understand? You are not trying to find the remainder. You are trying to find the quadratic factor over here. So after you do this, you know, oh, okay, so this cubic expression, you're going to factorize it with x minus 4 multiply with this x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now with here, you can further factorize by using cross method. So doing the cross method, it will be x squared minus 3 plus 2x, x and x. This is 3 and 1. Let's see, I need plus 2. So that means this is plus, this is minus. So this side is minus x, this is plus 3x. So let's check. This last column is at 3x plus negative x is positive 2x, correct? Positive 3 multiplied by negative 1 give us minus 3, also correct. X times x is x squared. So in the end, when I factorize, it means it's x minus 4, x plus 3, and x minus 1. Okay, so you can see over here, this is factorizing. Your task is to solve the equation. So now you will say, okay, for px equals to 0. Okay, common mistake is students always say, okay, after they do this already, they straight away say x equals to 4, x equals to negative 3, and x equals to 1. No, you must know that you are actually factorizing here. After you factorize, you will have to say, okay, form the equation. So you say px equals to 0. So in this case means x minus 4 equals to 0, or x plus 3 equals to 0, or x minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, I don't need the bracket here. So then I will have x equals to 4, x equals to negative 3, x equals to 1. So this is my 3 solutions. Okay, this is my 3 solutions. Okay, so this is polynomial. So I talk about long division. So over here, the first part is you need to factorize your cubic expression. So to factorize it, because part A already tell me that x minus 4 is a factor, so all I need to do is do the long division to find my quadratic factor. After I find my quadratic factor over here, I factorize it using cross method. It becomes another 2 bracket. This is cubic factorization. Then when I say px equals to 0, I'm forming an equation. And you will get these 3 answers. Okay, so let's move on to the next part, question 3. Okay, so question 3 is just simultaneous equation. This is linear. This is non-linear. When we have a linear versus a non-linear, no, you can use your calculator to factorize. But please, like this morning, my students, okay, I know calculator can give you 4 minus 3 and 1, but you are not allowed to straight away say px is equals to the 3 bracket without any working. Okay, the question usually is 3 to 4 marks. If you just straight away write out the 3 bracket without any working, you will not get the full marks. You will not get the full marks. So you must know how to factorize it properly. The calculator is only to assist you on how to find the 3 factors. Okay? Okay, so now let's move on to question number 3. So this is my equation 1 and this is my equation 2. Always make the x or y the subject from the linear equation. So over here I have y, I have 3x. So I have 1y, so of course I'm going to make y the subject. So I will say from equation 1, y is equals to 3x minus 1. So this is my equation 3. I'm going to sub 3 into 2. So you will say, okay, sub equation 3 into equation 2. And I will have this one. You will have, see, you are going to replace all the y to become 3x minus 1. So look at equation 2. X squared will remain plus y squared. You are supposed to change the y to become 3x minus 1. So put inside the bracket, this is the y replaced to become 3x minus 1. And don't forget your square equals to 5. So look at this, it becomes an equation solving x. So what you're going to do is you need to either apply the identity or you can use the normal rainbow. So x squared plus, I'm going to use the identity. The identity means I'm going to use the a plus b square is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So this one, I will say, okay, so it will be 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. This one, okay, I put here. I'm going to write step by step. What I did was, I expand this using the identity formula over here. A is the 3x, b is the 1. Okay, so that's why it's a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. You are allowed to ask questions that is related to the questions that I'm doing. Who say you are not allowed to ask questions? Okay, but there are too many people talking. I cannot see the chat. Okay, so if I miss your valid question, you can repeat the question. I already did cubic factorization just now. Then you ask me the same question again. Go and watch the replay when it's uploaded to my YouTube channel. Okay? Because I'm applying, okay, see here. My 3x minus 1, 3x minus 1. Let's do our rainbow. This one times this one is 9x squared. This one times this one is minus 3x. This one times this one is minus 3x. This one times this one is plus 1. So we have 9x squared. This is like terms, so it's minus 6x plus 1. Okay? So this is how I expand. Okay, so now let's simplify. So x squared plus 9x squared, it is like term, so it is 10x squared minus 6x plus 1 minus 5 equals to 0. Because it's a quadratic equation, okay, it's a quadratic equation, so we're going to bring everything to the left-hand side. So you become 10x squared minus 6x minus 4 equals to 0. So when it's an equation, I can simplify my equation to a smaller number. 10, 6, and 4, there is a common factor which is 2. I can reduce it. So I just divide by 2 throughout. I will get 5x squared minus 3x minus 2 equals to 0. So to solve this quadratic equation, you want to use quadratic formula also okay. You want to use factorization. You want, why don't use quadratic equation? Huh? This is quadratic equation, what? Okay, so you can use quadratic formula, you can use factorization also can. So let's say I'm going to use factorization. So this part, I'm going to use cross method to factorize. 5x squared minus 2 minus 3x. So this one only got one combination, which is 5x and x. This one, 2, 1 or 1, 2. So it depends on what you want here. So you can try and error with pencil. So in this case, this is plus 2 and minus 1. So let's check. This side is minus 5x. This one is plus 2x. Plus 2x plus negative 5x give me negative 3x. So this is correct. Positive 2 multiplied by negative 1, negative 2. So this is correct. 5x times x, 5x squared. So it's correct. Yes, actually the quadratic formula you want to use straight away also can. Quadratic formula can be used for those even when your answer is nice integer. Okay, but I'm showing you using the cross method since the number is not so big. You see, we can use the cross method, factorization method. So in this case, I know that I will get 5x plus 2. Later I show the quadratic formula. X minus 1 equals to 0. So in this case, you will have, okay, 5x plus 2 equals to 0, or x minus 1 equals to 0. X equals to minus 2/5. X equals to 1. Right? So I'm going to show the alternative using the quadratic formula. So you can use quadratic formula as well. Okay, I have an issue because there's many chat in the chat. So when the screen is going very fast. So if I miss out your question, and if you can repeat the question, provided it's valid to the question, because I most likely I will miss seeing your question, Okay, so now over here, quadratic formula is x is equals to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So let's sub in. So over here, my a is, I'm going to write, my a is 5, my b is negative 3, my c is negative 2. So just sub it in. Okay, you will get minus, careful, your b is negative 3. So it's minus negative 3 plus minus square root negative 3 squared minus 4ac over 2a. And you will still get this one. Calculator you can press, but when you press the calculator for the answer, you still need to show working, right? So you need to either show you use factorization method or you use quadratic formula. But you need to show the step. So you will end up having minus 2/5 or 1 as well. And don't forget, this is simultaneous equation. You are supposed to solve x and y. So common mistake is students solve x already. Yeah, then they very happy already. Then they move on to the next question. So you need to know that you still need to solve y as well. So we can sub it. You want to sub it into equation 1, equation 2, equation 3 also can. But because this one how to do elimination. This one definitely cannot use elimination because this is non-linear. How are you going to eliminate? I mean, you want to go and square both sides. You want to square both sides, already make y square the subject, then after that replace. No, okay? For AMath, always use substitution. Understand? Always use substitution. So you can sub this into 1, 2, or 3. But of course, it is wiser to sub into equation 3 because equation 3 is already y subject. So you will put as y is equals to 3x minus 1. And we will have negative 11 over 5. So y is equals to 3 x minus 1, which is 2. So usually I always ask my student to write this one cannot use elimination. Substitution is better. Because your equation 2 is x squared and y squared. And it's not easy for you to do elimination. You see, if I'm going to use elimination, I need to get y squared the subject. But here is only single y and x1, x to the power of 1, y to the power of 1. Then you need to square both sides. You are actually making more tedious. So in this case, you will say, no, simultaneous, it means that they intersect at either 1 point or 2 points. So over here, I will usually say x is equals to minus 2/5 and the y is equals to minus 11/5. X is equals to 1, y is equals to 2. So in this situation, you see that I have two sets of x and y, right? So this means that this line and curve cuts at 2 points. Okay? Like when in AMath, you do both linear. It's 2 straight line. So when it's 2 straight line, okay, you can leave it in improper, you can leave it in mixed number also can. So in 2 straight line, you will cut at 1 point. Okay? So this one small issue, you want to put it in this form also can. You want to change it into mixed number also can. So usually I will ask students to put it this way so that when teacher mark, they can easily just, oh, correct, then they will just move on to the next page. Okay? Always write your working very neatly. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 4. Just now I mentioned that I want to do long division, right? So this is a question whereby just now a student asked, what if my divisor is non-linear? So you see, this one, the divisor is x squared. So it means that I cannot use the remainder theorem to find out what is my remainder. I have to use the traditional long division. So let's do our long division. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to write x cubed minus 5x squared. Make sure that you have all the terms. After 3, you should get 2. After 2, you should get 1. After 1, you should have constant. Okay, if you have missing term, please put, like for example, I'm just giving an example. If let's say they ask you to do x cubed minus 5, let's say this one divided by x squared plus 1. Example only, example. So you can see there's a lot of missing terms here, right? So when you do long division for this kind of question, you will have to put x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 5 divided it by x squared. There's a missing term, so it's plus 0x plus 1. Okay? So if there are missing term, you need to give a space for it. You put plus 0. Don't just put. Okay? You must put plus 0 what? 0x squared. So in this case, let's do our long division. 0x squared. So in this case, let's do our long division for here. Now this one divided it by x squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay, so now let's ask ourselves, what multiplied by x squared will give us x cubed? So we know it is x. This one times this one give me x cubed. This one times this one give me plus 2x squared. This one times this one give me minus x. Remember to put subtract with the bracket. I don't know what theorem is that. No. Okay, so over here, minus 5x minus 2x. So I get minus 7x squared. Minus 15 minus x means minus 15 plus x. So I get minus 14x. This one bring down plus 7. Okay, sometimes students ask, divide until how much is considered remainder. Okay, thanks for the rows. Divide how much until is considered remainder. Look at your divisor. Your divisor power is 2. your remainder must be smaller than the divisor. So look over here. You can say, eh? Oh, it's x squared, but this one is also x squared. That means I still can further divide. Okay? So now you ask yourself, what multiplied by x squared give me minus 7x squared? So it is minus 7. So let's do the rainbow. This one times this one, minus 7x squared. This times this, minus 14x. This times this, it give me plus 7. So minus with the bracket. Okay, just nice for this case, I have no remainder. So it's 0. So they say by using a long division divide, right? So you will say, okay, my quotient is this x minus 7. In this situation, my remainder is 0. Okay, so this is how you do long division. So I repeat. So I repeat over here. So this one divided by this one. What you need to do is always ask yourself, always take the first term to decide what you need to put here. So what I did was, what multiplied by x squared give me x cubed. So I know I need to put an x here. So x times x squared is x cubed. Then continue to rainbow. So I get plus 2x squared. Continue to rainbow. I get minus x. Subtract with the bracket. Find out what is the remaining. Bring down the plus 7. And when I have the minus 7x squared, it is still not, the power is still not smaller than the divisor. So that means I need to continue to divide. And I know that I need to multiply with negative 7 with this one to get minus 7x squared. So rainbow this, get this term. Rainbow this, get this term. And then after that, subtract with the bracket. In this case, just nice, the remainder is 0. Okay? Okay, so actually this one, since I already write it here, maybe I just continue to do long division over here. Okay, so let's see whether this one can divide. I just randomly put one of these. So let's see whether we can divide or not. So this one is, I can rainbow with, I can multiply with x. So this is x cubed. See here, x times x squared, x cubed. X times 0x plus 0x squared. X times plus 1 plus x. Minus with the bracket. This one minus this one, 0. 0 minus 0 also 0. 0 minus x, it is minus x. So bring this down, so it is minus 5. So this one I cannot divide anymore. Why? Look at the remainder. Look at the terms here. This is x to the power of 1. This is x squared. Remember I say that you can divide. Okay, you can divide until the power is less than the divisor, and means that this is the remainder. So for this green color question, the quotient is x and the remainder is minus x minus 5. Okay, so I'm moving on. Because I already did 2 examples. In front also got 1 example. I talk about long division. So if you still don't understand about the long division, please go and watch the TikTok replay on my YouTube channel when we upload on tomorrow or Tuesday. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 5. Okay, this is the quadratic function topic. So over here they say, find the set of values of p for which the quadratic equation is always positive. Okay, quadratic equation is always positive means you will write it as 12x squared minus px plus 3. Always positive. Always positive, you have 2 conditions that you need to state. It has the discriminant is less than 0 because it is above the x-axis. If it's above the x-axis, means it did not cut. No solution means discriminant is less than 0. And in order to be always positive, it must be a happy face. So your A must be more than 0. So you must remember to state the happy face for this situation. Always positive, discriminant less than 0, A is more than 0. Two condition. In this situation, my A is already 12. So you see, this one, A is already 12. So that means this is already fulfilled. I don't have to bother about my A. So now I need to fulfill for the discriminant is less than 0. So my B is the coefficient of x. So B squared minus 4AC, I want this to be less than 0. So less than 0. You can go, okay, for those who are new here, you can go to my bio, click on my link. The second last button will go to my YouTube channel. Okay, under the videos, you can search for the whatever topics you want to search. Okay, and then after that, same link, my last button, go to my Telegram channel whereby you can download the PDF. Discriminant, it's, yes, B squared minus 4AC. Okay. So now let's continue. So it will be P squared minus 144 less than 0. Okay. Beware, this is quadratic inequality. So for quadratic inequality, you need to throw everything to the left hand side and right hand side is 0. In this case, it is already 0. And you need to factorize the left hand side. Factorize the left hand side. So in this case, this is using the popular factorization method, which is the A squared minus B squared. So it will be P squared minus 12 squared. So this become P plus 12, P minus 12 less than 0. So for quadratic, yes, correct. So for quadratic inequality, you need to always draw the graphical. So put minus 12 and 12 at these 2 points, minus 12 and 12. For less than 0, you need to shade the in between, which is the below the horizontal line. So therefore, you know that your P range will be between minus 12 and 12. So for part A, they want you to find the set of values of P to make this quadratic equation always positive. So what you just did is, you make use of the property that always positive. These two requirements form the inequality with your discriminant B squared minus 4AC. This is B squared minus 4AC less than 0. And then you realize, oh, okay, so this P range will fulfill what they want. Understand? Okay, now let's move on to this question. They ask, explain why the quadratic function 12x squared minus is always positive. Now, look at this. If you compare this and this, do you realize that the difference is, this one is the unknown P. This one, the P has changed to a 5. Agree? So they ask you to explain. Actually, because over here, we already proved that when my P is between minus 12 and 12, it will be always positive. So we will say 12x squared minus 5x plus 3, the P is equals to 5. And since the P equals to 5 is in the range P more than negative 12 less than 12, okay, therefore the quadratic function always positive, is always positive. Okay, you don't have to redo again all the thing again, because part A, you already find out the range of P that will fulfill my graph to be always positive. So in this part B, they only ask you to explain why is it that it's always positive. So from there, we can see that actually the P is already 5, and 5 is within this range. 5 is here. This is the question here. If you compare here, minus P, here is minus 5. So you can see that the P is 5. Huh? Okay, so this is how you do this question. Huh? So just to highlight, okay, this is always positive, right? So if question asks for always negative, okay, the discriminant is still less than 0. The only difference is it is a set face. Huh? So this situation is when it is below the x-axis, okay, which is always negative. So remember, they like to test this question. Always positive, discriminant less than 0, happy face. Always negative, discriminant is still less than 0 because it does not cut the x-axis, no real roots, but it is a set face. Okay? So always remember you have two conditions that you need to fulfill. Two conditions. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 6. Okay, we're going to talk about this coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Okay, before I continue, can you help me to like and share? Let me take a sip of water. Yes, always positive or negative means there are no intersection point. So discriminant is less than 0. Well done. No, discriminant is not always less than 0. If your quadratic equation has 2 real roots, discriminant is more than 0. If your discriminant, if you cut at one point or tangent, discriminant is equals to 0. Okay, so now let's do our coordinate geometry. Yes, find midpoint very easy. Okay, but for illustration purpose, usually I like to sketch out so that you see better. Look at this. I have 2 points here. 3, 7. Okay, so let's say it's here. 3, 7. Minus 1, 3. So minus 1, 3. So let's say it's here. Okay. They say R is the midpoint of PQ. To find midpoint, okay, so midpoint of PQ is simply take the average of the coordinates. So it's minus 1 plus 3, minus 1 plus 3 divided by 2, comma, 3 plus 7 divided by 2. So we have 2 divided by 2, so it's 1. 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Okay, very straightforward. Just need to know the midpoint formula. Okay, take the average of the coordinates. Next, they ask to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So if I'm going to join the line, what they're asking is, I want you to find the perpendicular bisector, which is this line over here. Okay. So they're asking you to find the equation of this green color line. Two condition, two requirement. Perpendicular means 90 degree. Bisector means here and here is equal. So with this, because here and here is equal, so we know that this point here is actually the midpoint. 1, 5. Okay, not necessary for you to sketch the graph. Okay, sketching it out is for you to visualize better so you can do the question properly. No, we are trying to find equation of the line, so you don't need to find the distance. You don't need to find the distance. So, the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PQ first, I need to find the gradient of my PQ first. Okay, because in order to find this green color gradient, okay, we have to use M1, M2, negative 1. What's the formula for midpoint? Okay, I'm going to just write here. This one, the formula is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay, it's just the average of the x coordinate, average of the y coordinate. Okay, so let's find the gradient of PQ first. So, gradient of PQ, we're going to use y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. That's the formula. So, let's take a look at these 2 points. So, I'm going to take 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 over 3 minus minus 1. 3 minus negative 1. Why don't you just subtract y coordinate 3, 7 and x coordinate first? Subtract? Why I need to subtract? I don't understand why I need to subtract. I don't understand, really. Okay. So, 7 minus 3 is 4. 3 minus minus 1 is also 4. So, in the end, the gradient of PQ is 1. Next, because I need to find the gradient of the green color line. So, gradient times gradient PQ, since they are both perpendicular, it is equals to negative 1. So you need to know when two lines are perpendicular to each other, they multiply together to give you negative 1. So I'm supposed to find the second line gradient. So this one will be 1 equals to negative 1. This one is here. So m will be equals to negative 1 divided by 1. So that's why gradient is negative 1. Yes, it doesn't matter if you do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. As long as when you start from whatever points you start from, the denominator also must start from the same point. You will still get the same answer. So now, this equation of the line is supposed to be y equals to mx plus c. So over here, I already found my gradient. So therefore, y is equals to minus x plus c. So now my equation of the line is almost there. We just need to find the unknown c. So in order to find the full equation, you need to sub a point which is on the line. So which is on the green color line. Yes, sub midpoint. Well done. Because the midpoint 1,5 is on the green color line. So we will say, okay, sub 1,5. So therefore, we have 5 equals to minus 1 plus c. c is equals to 6. So therefore, the equation is y equals to minus x plus 6. And that will be the answer. Okay? So that will be the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Okay? Finding equation of perpendicular bisector is commonly tested. You must know. So common mistake is, of course, students, after they find the gradient, then they sub the wrong point. They either sub this or sub this, which is wrong. You must know that you are trying to find this green color line. You need to sub the midpoint. Okay, you need to sub the midpoint. Okay, so now let's do our question 7, which is differentiation. You cannot join the Telegram group. Why? I think it should be can. I think the link still works. Hello, Fauzi. Okay. Let me see my link. I don't I believe my link should work. Okay, so I teach Sec 1 to Sec 5, both AMath and AMath. Of course, lower Sec don't have AMath, only for O-level, N-level, O-level. Okay. Of course, you have to download Telegram channel, then you can join my channel. If you don't have Telegram channel itself, then you can't join the channel. So you got to go to your App Store or Play Store to download the Telegram first before you can join my Telegram. Okay? Go to my TikTok bio. There's only one link there. Click on the link. Okay? Click on the very last button whereby it say get free worksheets via Teacher Kangie Telegram channel. So you click on the last button, but of course, before that you have to download the Telegram channel app before you can join the Telegram channel, of course. And then the second last button is the YouTube channel. Okay, come, let's do differentiation. So over here, differentiate the following with respect to x. So I'm going to write it out here. So usually what I like to do is I'm going to change them to index form first before I do my differentiation. So this is actually 3x to the power of -2 plus x to the power of half. Okay, what I did was I bring this up. That's why it's x to the power of -2. And this is square root. Square root is actually to the power of half. So we change it to this format first, then it's easier for you to differentiate. So now let's do our dy dx. This is just rule 1, rule 2, very straightforward. Okay, power bring down. -2 times 3 is -6. Now you guys minus the power by 1. So -2 minus 1, it is -3. Same thing, power bring down, so it's plus half x, power minus 1. Half minus 1 is -half. So of course, you don't leave your answer in this format. Always leave it in positive index. So that means it is -6 over x cubed. So for those who are very weak in indices, common mistake is, I also bring the 6 down. But be careful. The -3 belongs to the x. So you only bring the x down. The 6 remain at the numerator. It don't come down. So now this one. I need to simplify. This is negative. So this is square root x. So I will write it as plus 1 over 2. This one is actually at the top, right? So I bring it down. So it becomes square root x. Okay, so this is how you do simple differentiation. This is the most simple differentiation. Okay, I repeat, change to index rule. Index, x to the power of -2, x to the power of half. What I'm going to do is differentiate, bring down the power, -2 times 3. So it is -6x to the power of power minus 1. So -2 minus 1, so it's -3. Here, bring down the power, so it's half. Power minus 1, half minus 1 is -half. Next is just simplifying. Okay? So this will be my final answer for 7A. Okay, this 7B, chain rule. No, this one is not chain rule. This is product rule. So let's see. I'm going to write out the question here. So it's y is equals to x multiplied by 5 minus x to the power of 7. So how do we know that this is product rule? Okay, because we have two terms multiplied together, x times this one. Okay, and I cannot expand this. If I can expand this, I can just expand, and then after that, I just apply rule 1, rule 2. Okay, for those who are very weak in differentiation, please go to my YouTube channel, go and search for differentiation. Search under my video, type differentiation 5 rules. You can revise your differentiation in my YouTube channel. So now in this case, we're going to do our differentiation. dy dx is equals to keep left. So I'm going to keep the x. Now I'm going to differentiate the right hand side. So differentiate the right hand side is applying chain rule. Bring down the power 7. Copy power minus 1. So it's 6. Multiply by differentiate the inside. Differentiate 5 is constant. Sorry, differentiate 5 disappear is 0. Differentiate minus x give me minus 1. So I have to multiply with negative 1. We are not done yet. This is only one side. So I need to plus. Now you have to keep the right hand side. So it's 5 minus x to the power of 7. Differentiate the left hand side. Differentiate x, you get 1. Okay? So, maybe 70% of the students know how to apply this. But they don't know how to simplify this. Because if you're going to leave your answer in this, you're not going to get the full 3 marks. So you need to further simplify. So now I'm going to explain how you simplify this. This is considered one term because it's all multiply. This is considered one term. This is considered the second term. So we need to take out common factor. So look at these two brackets. 5 minus x to the power of 6. 5 minus x to the power of 7. So take out the smaller one. So we're going to take out 5 minus x to the power of 6. Put a very big square bracket. So now let's analyze. This, if I'm going to take out 5 minus x to the power of 6, I only left with negative 1 times 7x. So that means I left with minus 7x. This one, if I'm going to take out 5 minus x to the power of 6, I'll still left with one more bracket of 5 minus x. So that means I left with 5 minus x. Okay, I'm going to repeat. So I differentiate using product rule. So this is using product rule. Okay, product rule. So I keep x, differentiate the right hand side. Okay, basically that is like this times this. So the x is my what I call left hand side. This one is called the right hand side. So now let's see. Keep x, differentiate the right hand side, which I'm going to use chain rule. Bring down the 7, copy the bracket, power minus 1, that's why it becomes 6. Multiply by differentiate the inside, which give me negative 1. Plus, keep right, differentiate left. Differentiate x is just 1. Okay, so I'm done with my product rule. So with this product rule, so what I meant was, this from here to here, this is considered one term. This is considered one term. So there are actually two terms here. So these two terms, you want to take out the common factor. So the common factor is this 5 minus x. Got 6, got 7. We take out the smaller one. So take out 6. So I'm taking out this common factor 5 minus x to the power of 6. This first term, when I take out this, I left with minus 1 times 7x. That's why it is minus 7x. Okay. This one, when I take out, I left with only 1. So I left with the bracket 5 minus x. Understand? Okay, good. So now, this one, 5 minus x to the power of 6. Now we're going to simplify here. Minus 7x minus x is minus 8x. Then just plus 5 and we are done. Okay, this one the answer got error. Let me see the answer got error now. Okay. Okay, there is an error with the answer sheet here. So please take note, the answer here is wrong. So it's either you can you can leave your answer in this form. Maybe rewrite this one a little bit. Usually they don't like to have the first term as negative. So you can write it as 5 minus x to the power of 6, 5 minus 8x. Okay? Either one also can. This is just, it look better because we don't like to have the negative in the first term. Okay? There is an error because you see you cannot take out the negative one. You cannot take out the negative and then become x minus 5 and then take out negative here also one. Okay? If you take out negative here, then this one should not be a negative ma. Agree or not? You see, it's 5 minus 8x. If I take out negative from this bracket, for those who are very good, if I take out negative from here, and I also take out negative from here, then how is it that here is still minus? So, don't have to bother about this one. So, just write it in this, is fine. Okay, never mind. Okay, just move on. Move on. I don't want to talk so. I don't want to debate too much about this part. Okay, so this part is I have demo rule 1, rule 2. I have demo product rule, and within the product rule, I also demo chain rule. Okay, let's move on. Question number 8. So this one is you are supposed to prove trigo proving. Okay, trigo proving. Trigo differentiation is for O level. It is not for N level. Today we are doing N level AMath revision. Okay, so let's move on. So over here, you can start from the left hand side. You also can start from the right hand side. But it will be easier to start from the right hand side for this situation. Okay, so I'm going to start from right hand side. I will write secant A plus 3 cosine A. The only thing I can change here is this secant. Okay, so third letter is C, so it's 1 over cosine. So this is 1 over cosine A plus 3 cosine A over 1. Okay, what I did was I just changed the secant A to 1 over cosine A. We need to combine it into a single fraction. So common denominator, we need to put cosine A. So this one no change. So I will put it as 1 cosine A plus 3 cosine A multiplied by cosine A. Okay? So what I did was the right hand side multiplied by cosine A. So now I will have 1 plus 3 cosine square A over cosine A. What I did was I just combined it into a single fraction. Then now let's take a look at the left hand side. You can see that it's very close already. The denominator is already cosine A, but my numerator here is sine square A. Okay? So in this situation, I need to change the cosine square A into sine square A. Okay, let's move on. Sorry, sometimes I just move a little because I want to see my phone. Okay, I cannot see the chat comments. I don't know what happened to the TikTok. Nowadays the comments are very the setup is a bit weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this identity that you will see. Okay, this sine square A plus cosine square A equals to 1. This is the first trigo identity that you learn and is in the formula sheet. Okay, so I'm going to make cosine square A the subject over here. So cosine square A will be equals 1 minus sine square A. So with this, we can change our cosine square A to become sine square A. So what you do is 1 plus 3 bracket 1 minus sine square A over cosine A. So let's rainbow this part. So we will have 1 plus 3 minus 3 sine square A over cosine A. So 1 plus 3 is just 4. So it's 4 minus 3 sine square A over cosine A. Ta-da! Is equals to left hand side. So this is equals to left hand side. Why not? This is still this is tested in O level as well. Okay, so shown. Done. Okay. Now for me, I feel that this one you can start from either side. For me, I started from the right hand side. Sometimes the question either side also can start. Sometimes you can only start from one side. Okay, let's move on to question number 9. So question number 9 is going to use completing the square, finding the maximum or minimum. For this case, yeah, this one got to find the maximum. Minimum, I mean. Okay? Okay, so over here, they say express this quadratic expression into this form. When you see this kind of question, you know that you got to use completing the square. So fx equals to x squared plus 8x minus 2. So let's do our completing the square. Make sure that it is 1x squared. If it's not, wait. Okay, if it's not 1x squared, you got to factorize it out. In this case, I don't have to. So these two terms, it become x plus, take the 8, divide by 2, so I get 4. Square it minus backside square. This minus 2 bring down. So the 4 we'll put here. So let's simplify. So we will have x plus 4 square minus 16 minus 2, so it's minus 18. Okay, so done. And then if you compare, you will say that h is equal, see, this is plus 4, here is minus h. So your h you got to say is negative 4. Here is plus k, here is minus 18, so k is negative 18. Okay, so let's move on to this last part here. Hence, show that the minimum value of fx is minus 18. So let's analyze this. My fx is equals to x squared minus plus 8x minus 2. It is also equals to x plus 4 squared minus 18. Look at the coefficient of x squared. Okay, it's 1. The a is equals to 1. A is more than 0. It is a happy face. It is a quadratic graph with a U shape. It means that it is a minimum point. It has a minimum point for the turning point. Okay, when you put it into the completing square form, okay, how to find the minimum point? You just let this part x plus 4 square equals to 0. So you have x plus 4 equals to 0, x equals to negative 4. And when x equals to negative 4, the y is equals to, or in this case is fx. Okay, the fx, or rather I can put f. So f negative 4, substitute here, negative 4 plus 4 square is 0 square. 0 minus 18, so it is minus 18. So with this, I can confirm that, oh, my minimum point is minus 4 minus 18. This is for those who are doing AMath in Sec 3. This is the very first topic that the school will teach. Definitely not now lah. Now is October. This one is usually early in the year for Sec 3 who learn all this. Okay, so with this, I already proved that the minimum point is this. They want you to prove that the minimum value is minus 18, which is this one. So therefore, the minimum value of fx equals to minus 18. Done. Okay. So this is using computing the square to find out what is the turning point. And in this case, because my a is more than 0, so it is a happy face. So the turning point is a minimum point. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to question 10. This is a rate of change, differentiation rate of change. The computing the square is a method. You have to memorize how to compute the square. So check the replay on the YouTube channel when we upload, and then after that try and look again. Okay, so this is a differentiation application using rate of change. So air is pumped into a spherical balloon of volume. This is the formula V in terms of R. They tell us that the R is the radius. And then radius, given that the radius increase at the rate of 0.5, blah, blah, blah. So keyword radius, the rate is this, and also the word increases. Okay. Then they ask you to find the rate of increase of the volume. So I like to write out the information they give me. So they're asking me, they tell me that dr dt is equals to, increase means it's positive. If they say decrease, you got to put minus. So this is 0.5 cm per minute. Okay, so they want me to find what is dv dt equals to question mark when radius is equals to 2. So dr dt equals to this, dv dt equals to question mark when r equals to 2. So v is equals to 4/3 pi r cubed. This is the formula that they give me. So with this, I can find my dv dr. So let's do my dv dr. Bring down the 3. 4/3 times 3, it is 4. So it's 4 pi r squared. So now, let's take a look. You have dr dt, you have dv dt, you have dv dr. These three components, you need to link them together in an equation. So, you will have something equals to something times something. So, these three boxes, you're going to fill in these three components. Okay, cannot anyhow fill in. Always fill in the one without the dt first. The one without dt is dv dr. So you will put in dv dr in this box first. Now, look at the numerator. Numerator is dv. So that means the left hand side, my dv dt should be on the left hand side. Okay? dv, the numerator here, that's why you put dv dt here. Thanks for the compliment. Then next, you only left with dr dt, right? So over here, just put dr dt. So the placing of these three is very, very important. If you put wrongly, that means you will not get you will get the question wrong. So now fill in the blank and see what you have. dv dr, I have it, which is 4 pi r squared. And they already tell you to find dv dt when r equals to 2. It means now I can sub the 2 here. Okay. So now after that, my dr dt is given to us, which is times 0.5. And when we press the calculator, you will get 25.1327. Round it off to 3SF, 25.1. This is dV dt, so it is volume per minute. Done. 3SF. Okay, so this is how you do question 10, rate of change. So I want to highlight, if they mention, let's say radius decrease at the rate of 0.5, then you got to put minus 0.5. In this case, it is increased, that's why it's put positive. Okay, they asked me to find dV dt, so I put dV dt equals question mark when r equals to 2. And I'm given my dV dr, I'm given v in terms of r here. So v in terms of r, I can find my dV dr. Differentiate my volume with respect to r. So bring down the 3. 4 third times 3, that's why it's 4. Power minus 1, that's why it's square here. Yes, differentiate v with respect to r. That's for dV dr. So just now I mentioned dr dt, dV dt, dV dr. You must put it in the correct box. So these 3 box, the middle one is the one without the dt. So that's why dV dr is in the middle. Then you look at the numerator, this one is dV, so that means here will be dV dt. And we left this one, which is dr dt. So after you put in the placing, just put in the information that you have. dV dr is 4 pi r square, so 4 pi r square. And they tell us that my r is 2. So sub the r equals to 2 into here. dr dt is given, which is here, 0.5. So key calculator, we get 25.1327. So round off is 25.1. So therefore, my dV dt is equals to 25.1. Why someone keeps saying not numerator, not numerator? The top is a numerator, what? Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Let's move on. Question 11. Okay, question 11. Now we're going to do integration. Integration. So over here, I want to integrate this 5 square root x with respect to x. Okay, with respect to x. So usually the constant, I will put it outside. So it is 5 integrate square root x dx. And again, I want to change this to index form. So it is 5 integrate x to the power of half dx. So now we are ready to integrate. The constant, don't have to bother. Okay. Okay, power plus 1. Okay, take note, this is integration. So integration is power plus 1. Just like when we do differentiation, power minus 1. So integration will be x half plus 1 will be 3 over 2 over the new power. And because this is no limit, so I have to put plus c. Usually, because if I don't pull out the 5, I deal with numbers whereby it's not necessary. I try to keep I try to keep the terms that I try to keep the terms that I'm integrating as simple as possible. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's just that I want to deal with simpler term to integrate. Okay. So now 1 divided by 3 over 2 is the same as 2 thirds. So this one is actually 5 times 2 thirds x 3 over 2 plus c. So 5 times 2/3, so it is 10 over 3 x 3 over 2 plus c. And that will be the final answer. So please remember to put the plus c. Yes, you will still get the same number. You will still get the same answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So this one, I need to integrate 1 over x minus 3 4 with respect to x. So again, change this to index form. So it will be integrate x minus 3 to the power of negative 4. So now, plus c is because there is no limit. This is indefinite integral. Okay, so now let's move on to integrate. So power plus 1, so x minus 3, power plus 1 minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. Over, you see here. Yes, if you never write plus c for this one, you will get penalized. So over the new power, which is minus 3, differentiate the new inside. Differentiate inside, which is 1. No, area under the curve got no plus c because you already sub in value. Okay, and plus c. So now let's take a look. This is minus 3. So minus 3 will remain at the denominator, but we have a minus, right? Then after that, what we're going to do is this one, power negative to bring it down. So when we simplify this, I get negative 1 over 3x minus 3 plus c. Okay, forget the 3 here. Okay, so I repeat this one. So what I did was I changed this one to the index form. Okay, power plus 1, so minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. And put the new power at the denominator. Differentiate the bracket. So differentiate x minus 3 is 1. So also put it at the denominator. Then put plus c because this is a indefinite integral. I don't know why it's a velocity vector. Don't spam my chat. I teach sec 1 to sec 5. Okay. So simplify, we get this. And this is the final answer. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. This is solving trigo equation. Solving trigo equation. Can you stop spamming and ask me to integrate x over tangent x dx from 0 to pi over 2? I'm saying that I'm doing the question over here in my Telegram channel. I saw your question. It is not relevant to my O level or N level, so I'm ignoring the question. So can you kindly please don't spam the chat? Thank you very much. Okay, so let's move on to question number 12. So question number 12, we are doing trigo equation. So you're supposed to solve for sine 3y minus 1 equals to 0.2. And they want you to solve between 0 to pi radian. So my answer range is y is between 0 to pi. Okay, so you know that this one you have to work in radian. Okay, so you know this one you have to work in radian. Okay, so in this question, tricky thing is there is 3y. Okay, and also that it is in terms of radian. So before we start, usually is look at my theta. If this theta is not y alone, we need to find out what is my working range. Okay, so let's find out what is 3y minus 1. So 3y means I'm going to times 3 times 3. So it's still 0 times 3 is still 0. Pi times 3 is 3 pi. Now 3 pi minus 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 3 pi, it is 3 pi minus 1. So usually this type, I will put it in decimal. Huh? Okay, so over here, it is 3y minus 1. Minus 1. This one, decimal will be 8.424. No, this one not use sign A minus B. This one applicable for O-level AMath, and it's also this is actually very, this applicable for both N-level and O-level. So this one, listen carefully. This is nothing to do with addition formula. When we go around, the one that you are saying is addition formula. This got nothing to do with addition formula. For this question, need to change calculator mode to radian, right? Yes, you have to. Because you got to give answer in terms of radian. So the basic angle you need to give in terms of radian. So over here, see here, this is my answer range. This is my working range. Okay, the working range is important because later part we need to know, we need to plus 2 pi minus 2 pi until which number. You understand? So next, before we do our basic angle, I want you to find out sine positive is in which quadrant. So sine positive is in the first and second quadrant. Okay, so now over here, basic angle, sorry, just now I saw some few people very irritating, so I blocked them already. I personally blocked 2%. Okay, so sine inverse 0.2. You have to be in radian mode. So you get 0.20135. Okay, so now we are ready. Once you have your basic angle, I will need to find my first two. The first two always depend on which quadrant you are in. So 3y minus 1 equals to the first quadrant, which is basic angle, 0.20135. The second one is the second quadrant, which is pi minus 0.20135. And this will give us 2.9402. Okay, so this is the first two. This is the first two. So I repeat, this first two depends on which quadrant. Sine is positive, so I take first and second quadrant. Then after that, I find my basic angle. Basic angle is always sine inverse the positive value. Okay, if here got negative, you don't put negative here. Basic angle, you cannot take the negative from here. So just sine inverse the positive value. So in this case, it's 0.2. No, you don't plus 1 first. You don't plus 1 first. Okay. And then after that, this is your basic angle. So 3y minus 1. First quadrant. So it is the basic angle. Second quadrant, it is pi minus basic angle. So I get this. This is the first two you need to have. Next is you need to plus 2 pi and minus 2 pi to make sure that you get all the values within the working range. So what I'm going to do is this, when I plus 2 pi, I will get 6.4845. Look at this, 6.4845 is still within my working range. So I want this value. Of course, if I'm going to minus 2 pi, it will be out of the range because minus 2 pi give me negative very big already. So reading is out of the range, so I don't need it. Okay, now let's take a look at this one. This one, if I plus 2 pi, definitely is too big. It will be more than this one, so which I also don't want. Okay, 2.94, if I minus 2 pi, let's see whether is it within range. So, 2.9402, if I minus 2 pi, I get negative 3.34. You see, it's out of my range already. So that means I don't need them. So now I know I have 3 answer that will be within my answer, within my working range. Yeah, why not? Why cannot? I always do that. Okay, so anyway, so next is 3y. So all 3 numbers plus 1 plus 1. So I will have 0.20. Okay, this one plus 1, I will get 1.20135. This one plus 1, I will get 3.9402. This one plus 1, 7.4845. Then to solve the y, I divide by 3. So all these 3 divided by 3, I get 0.40045, 1.3134, 2.4948. Do you see I have all these 3 which is inside my answer range? This is radian, so round off to 3SF. So it's 0.400, 1.31, and 2.49. And that will be my 3 answer. Understand? Okay, so this is how you do this kind of question. Always find out what's your working range. Sine minus 1, wait. Wait, I missed out the question. Sine minus 1, I get 11.53, Sine inverse, do you go to the radian mode? You need to be in radian mode, There's no negative value because the value that I get will be out of the range. Okay? So, this will be how you do this question. By right, you see, whenever we have plus 2, we can actually plus 2 pi plus 2 pi plus infinity until you plus until your hand break already. You still can plus. Because if you go plus 2 pi, if you're in the first quadrant, you are always still in the first quadrant. That is why they always must limit your answer by a range. But its angle, it must be in degree, right? No. Degree angle has 2 units. It's either in degree or radian. This one asks for radian. So you give your answer in radian. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Question 13. Okay. Do you add the plus 1 after the basic angle or at the basic angle? I never plus 1 here. This is my theta, which is here. What I did was, my theta is equal to the first quadrant, which is the basic angle. Second quadrant is pi minus basic angle. This is the first 2 that I must get based on the quadrant. And then after that, I need to plus 2 pi. Because when I take 0.2013 plus 2 pi, I get 6.48. It is still within my working range. Okay. Then after that, from here, after I get this 3, which is within my working range, I do plus 1. So plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, I get this 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, I get this 3. Okay, plus 2 pi is a method. If you don't know by now to plus 2 pi or minus 2 pi, then you better go and revise your work. Okay, now question 13. We'll be doing wait, let me see my question. We will be doing 16 questions today. So 13, 14, 15, we got 4 more questions to go. 4 more questions to go. Thanks for the mic. Okay, now let's move on. Now they ask you to find the gradient of the tangent to the curve, blah, blah, blah. So you all must know that gradient of tangent means that it's dy dx. Okay, I want to find the dy dx of this. So this is using quotient rule. So today, initially, I did rule 1, rule 2. I also did product rule, also got chain rule. Now it's quotient rule. Actually, this one, I can use quotient rule. I also can use rule 1, rule 2. Okay, but I'm going to show you quotient rule. Can visualize it with a graph. No, this one you just do differentiation. You don't have to plot the graph. Thank you. Okay, so now dy dx. Quotient rule, keep the bottom. My bottom is the x cube. Keep bottom, differentiate the top. And the top, I'm going to use chain rule. So it will be 2, 4x plus 3 to the power of 1. And multiply by differentiate the inside, which is 4. Minus, keep the top, which is 4x plus 3 square. Differentiate the denominator, so it's 3x squared. Over bottom square, so it's x cubed 2. Okay, I'm not going through the basic 5 rules. If you forget your quotient rule, product rule, all the basic, please go and see either my YouTube channel to go and see the 5 rules, or you're going to revise your work. I'm revising straight away, just do the work. I will not be going into in-depth of the super basic. So I'm going to repeat. So again, this is using quotient rule. Keep the bottom, which is x cubed. Differentiate the top, I apply chain rule. Bring down the 2, that's why there's a 2 here. Copy the bracket. Power minus 1, 2 minus 1, so it's 1. Multiply by differentiate inside, so it's put it here. Minus, this is minus. Be careful, this is minus. Keep the top. Differentiate the bottom, I get 3x squared. Over bottom square. So now let's simplify. Look at the numerator. This is exactly like how I do my product rule just now. We need to simplify the numerator. Factorize out the common factor. So let's take a look. In terms of number, I have 8x cubed with this bracket. Over here, I have 3x squared with this bracket to the power of 2. So I have actually common factor of x squared. So I'm going to take out common factor x squared as well as 4x plus 3. Put a very big square bracket. So I will have 8x. Okay? Because this is 2 times 4, 8x cubed. 8x cubed, I take out x squared, I still left with 8x. Okay, subtract. Now this side, when I take out x squared, I still left with a 3. This 4x plus 3 squared, when I take out 4x plus 3, 1, I still left with 1 4x plus 3. Okay? So what I did was just factorize out the common factor. Then don't forget your denominator. A lot of times students focus on the numerator and then the denominator disappear. This is a Sec 4 AMath, differentiation. So now bottom, 3 times 2, x to the power of 6. So now let's simplify the numerator. X squared and x6 I can cancel. So bottom is x4. This one I keep it as 4x plus 3. Now this part going to rule our rainbow. So we will have 8x minus 12x minus 9. We still can simplify. So this is 4x plus 3. 8x minus 12x, so it's minus 4x minus 9 over x to the power of 4. Actually, this is good enough. It's fine. You know why? Because they say find the gradient. They only want the value, correct? So now you can actually just sub the x equals to 1. Okay, go to my Telegram channel and download the PDF worksheet for this question. This worksheet. My YouTube channel is go to my bio, click on the link. The second last button go to my YouTube channel. The last button go to my Telegram channel. This is N-level AMath, N-level additional mathematics. Actually, which is true lah. Not exactly need to simplify for this situation. Let's say up to here already, you can just sub in the x equals to 1. Okay, but because it's 3 marks lah, so you have to show a little bit of show a little bit of simplifying lah. No, I'm not doing any normal tech math tomorrow. I'm only doing live on Wednesday and Sunday. And if you go and see my video whereby I post about the schedule. So, sub x equals to 1 into my dy dx. So, dy dx equals to 4 times 1 plus 3 minus 4 times 1 plus minus 9 over 1 to the power of 4. So when I press the calculator, I will get negative 91. Okay, so this is the gradient of the tangent at x equals to 1. Done. So this is using quotient rule to differentiate. So now let's move on to question number 14. Okay, so now over here, this one, maybe some students are not familiar with this. They will wonder, I see fx before. What is this f? Then got this colon here, and then after that, they got this comma here. Okay, when you see 2 of this, it means this is d square y dx square. This is the same meaning as d square y dx square. This, okay, is the same meaning as dy dx. When you see one so-called comma here, 2 comma here, yes, second derivative, and this is the first derivative. Yes. Okay, so now let's see. They give me the second derivative for to be this one. Then they give us first derivative whereby when x equals to 2 is 148. And they give us f when it's x equals to 1, it is 9. And then the task is you are supposed to find f2. This is actually not tough, but you see this is 6 marks. This is definitely O-level definitely can manage this question. It's just that it's tedious. You need to work it out carefully. Okay. Yes, correct. We just need to integrate, sub. Just need to be very careful. Not tough, this question. So now let's do it. So my second derivative, it is 60x squared minus 6. I need to find my first derivative. So I need to integrate this. So I'm supposed to integrate 60x squared minus 6 with respect to x. Okay, please present it properly. So again, for me is I always don't need to bother about the 60. I can just put 60. Okay, now let's focus to integrate the x squared. So it's just x power plus 1. So it's x3 over the new power. Constant when you integrate is just minus 6x. Okay, and take note, there's no limits. So remember to put your plus c. 60 divided by 3 is 20. So it's become 20x cubed minus 6x plus c. So I have to find out what is my c. So I'm going to make use of this information in order to solve my c. So I will do, okay, f2 will be equals to 20 2 cubed minus 6 plus c. Okay? And this theta is 148, right? So I say, okay, 148 will be equals to 160 minus 12 plus c. So we're going to solve our C and we will get 0. This coincidentally, C is 0. It's not always that it is always 0, understand? Okay, so now once I have my C, I can now say that, okay, so my f prime x, I know that it is 20x cubed minus 6x plus 0. Of course, don't have to write the plus 0. So this is my first derivative. Now, we're going to find our original fx. So fx will be, I need to integrate 20x cubed minus 6x with respect to x. So let's integrate again. So the constant just put here, don't care. This one, integrate the x cubed, x to the power of 4 over new power minus 6x, 1 plus 1, so it's 2 over new power and plus c. 20 divided by 4, so this is 5x4 minus 3x squared plus c. Don't forget the plus c. Okay, so now I'm going to make use of this information. They tell me when I sub in 1, I get 9. So let's find my f1 first. So it means it's 514 minus 31 squared plus c. f1 is 9, so 9 is equals to 5 minus 3 plus c, and I get my c is equals to 7. 160 is 2 cubed is 8. 20 times 8 is 160. 2 to the power of 3, 8. 8 times 20, 160. 6 times 2 minus 12. F prime 2, 148 is given here. Don't have to go and put C1, C2, C3. Yeah, this one is small issue lah, small issue. Understood is already past tense, right? You need to put understood. Okay. Now we find our C. See, this C is not 0. So now I know my fx will be equals to 5x4 minus 3x squared plus 7. So we have our, no need to write C is the constant. Ayo, no need to be so 计较lah. You can get this one, eventually get the correct one. 6 marks already given to you. You think the teacher will penalize you for putting C1, C2, C2, whatever? Or whether we write where C is constant? Okay, so now fx equals to this. Now the last one, they ask you to find f2, easy. So f2, just 5, 2, 4 minus 3, 2 squared plus 7. Okay, and we will get 75. And done. This is 6 marks question. All you need is integrate plus C, and substitute accordingly. How do you get 20x cubed? You're asking me all the way to here. 60 divided by 3, 20. Thanks for the fire. Thanks for the rose. Woo! Yeah, I'm going to have dinner soon. Thanks for the rose. I'm going to have a good dinner today because Tuesday is my anniversary with my old panda. So I'm going to have a good dinner later. Okay, so this question simply just integrate. But remember, integrate must put plus C. And that's why they give you so many information in order to find out what's your C. So, a lot of times students always assume, oh, C is definitely always 0. No such thing. C equals to 0 for this case is coincidentally. Okay, in this one, you see the C is 7. Integration formula is not given. Okay, so now let's move on to question 15. Last 2 questions. And I'm so hungry. I teach from 9 a.m. until now. Now it's already 7 p.m. Oh, I teach for 10 hours, okay? Okay, come. Now, this is a question whereby it is, again, differentiation. This is application of differentiation whereby they ask for the maximum, minimum kind of a question. Always come out. It will always come out. So now, let's take a look. So they say that the diagram shows a rectangular plot of land fenced by wire of length 220 meter. So this information actually is trying to tell you the parameter is 2200. So in this case, you can see there's 2y and 2x. So I'm going to write here 2y plus 2x is equals to 2200. So divide by 2, I have y plus x will be equals to 1100. Okay, do up to here first. Now you look over here. Given that the length is y, okay, show that the A, which is the area, is equals to x times 110 minus x. Do you see that this formula is A in terms of x? If A in terms of x, it means that I don't want to have y, right? If I don't want to have y, that means I need to make use of this information here. I want to have y subject. So now I will have y is equals to 1100 minus x. I just now see the Salmon say my hand is very hot. So my moderator blocked him or her. I also, very hot. Maybe got light, I don't know. Okay, so over here, I can choose to put y in terms of x or x in terms of y, correct? But because over here, my formula is A in terms of x. That means we need to change y to become x. That's why I make y the subject. Okay, so now let's move on to my area is just y times x. See here, area is just y times x. I want to put it in terms of x. I just change the y. See here? So simply is 1100 minus x times x. Just put it exactly the same as theirs. So it is A is equals to x, 1100 minus x shown. Done. Okay, so that's for first part. Part B. Part B say if x can vary, find the maximum value of A. This kind of question, same one. Always the same, always the same. Yeah, 400 people. All chiong for N-level AMath. Okay, so for those who are new here, please remember to follow me. During this N-level, O-level period, I'm doing math on every Wednesday and every Sunday. Okay, and also I want to say, please go to my bio, click on my link. Okay, you can go to the Telegram channel, which is the last button. You can download the PDF worksheets. And then the second last button will go to my YouTube channel. Please remember to subscribe when you consume my video there, okay? Yes. Okay, now let's continue. This kind of question, always the same one. You get A in terms of x. What you need to do is you want to do dA dx equals to 0. This simply means I want to do dA dx equals to 0. Of course, I do dA dx is because formula is A in terms of x. So question come out may like asking for volume or other things. So if it's V in terms of x, of course means you do dV dx equals to 0. This is because A in terms of x, so I want to do dA dx equals to 0. So now the first thing is, let's find out my A. This is not so nice to differentiate. Please, don't use product rule. This is very easy. So all you need to do is rainbow this first. So I get 1100x minus x squared. From here, I can straight away do my dA dx. Hello, from Brunei. I also noticed that some followers from Brunei. Happy that you all learned together with me. Okay, come, let's do our dA dx. So differentiate this, I get 1100. Bring down, this one will be minus 2x. So now we are ready to do dA, Okay, this one no need to use product rule. If I can rainbow, to open up, I can just apply rule 1, rule 2. It's so much easier. So I'm going to do dA dx equals to 0. So you have to put dA dx equals to 0. 1100 minus 2x equals to 0. 2x equals to 110. X is equals to 550. See, they ask you to find the maximum value. I already got the corresponding x. I already have the answer for this one. I want to find the maximum. I simply need to sub this into my A. So my A is equals to 1100,550 minus 550 square. And I will get 302,500 meters square. So we have to confirm and make sure that it is maximum. Okay, some students say, they never ask me to test whether maximum or minimum. Why you need to test? There are teachers who deduct mark if you never test that whether is it maximum or minimum. I always test. Why? This is also to make sure that at least we can have more chance that we got it correct. You understand? So let's do our check. Always find the d square a dx square, the second derivative. So differentiate this, I get negative 2. This one less than 0, straight away I know that it is a maximum. So it is just for me to confirm that it is a maximum area, understand? So if your second, listen here, if your second derivative is more than 0, it is a minimum. If your second derivative is less than 0, it is a maximum. So student ask me, what if my second derivative equals to 0? If your second derivative is equals to 0, you will have to do the first derivative test. Okay, but I'm not going to go through today. Okay, if you need to go and recap and or go to my YouTube channel and go and consume those material there. Okay, such differentiation, you'll see a lot of videos there. Okay, so we are done with question 15. This type of question sure will come out. Okay, now let's move to the last question. Not bad, not bad. I OT about few minutes only. Come. Let's do the last question for the day. So hungry. Okay. This is a trigo graph question related to real world context. Okay. So this also involves plotting trigo graph. Okay, see here. The heart rate of a 40-year-old athlete during a 360 minutes activity was carefully monitored. So he said that the heart rate, they say that the heart rate is monitored by this. H is equals to 110 plus 40 sine 60. For those who forget how to plot trigo graph, please go to my YouTube channel, search for trigo graph under my videos. I believe you can see a lot of videos there. So now they ask what's the maximum and minimum. So I'm going to write this out. H is equals to 110 plus 40 sine 60. Okay, now the first question is, what is my amplitude? Okay, amplitude is always the number in front of the trigo. So in this case it's 40. So my amplitude is 40. Even if here is minus, your amplitude is still 40. If it's a minus 40, simply means that your sine graph is flipped. Okay? But in this case, nothing to do with the flip. I just want to let you know. So now, this one, what is my... Okay, let's find my period first. My period will be... Because it's 360, so it's 360 divided by 6. So therefore, it is 60. So my period is 60. Next, the sheaf. What is the sheaf? In this case, you see, plus 110. So the sheaf is 110. Okay, let me plot the graph first. Then you will know what is the maximum and minimum. Okay, this is how you plot the sine trigo graph with amplitude 40, period 60, and sheaf 110. Always draw the sheaf first. The sheaf is 110. Okay, I will draw my horizontal line. Maybe here. Draw dotted line. Cannot draw solid. So this is my 110. This is 110. This is my sheaf. Amplitude is 40. So 110 plus 40, 150. 110 minus 40, 70. So by doing this, what is my maximum? 150. So therefore, my maximum H is 150. My minimum H is equals to 70. Okay, so now we are ready to plot the graph. Next, my period is 60. Do you see here is 60? That means I'm going to draw one cycle here. Okay, so now I'm going to plot the 5 critical points. For those who are my regular, you know how I draw my trigo graph. We always plot the 5 critical points. Sine graph, start from 0. Okay, start from 0. Go up to maximum. So it's at this 15, go up to maximum. So you will use this maximum. So plot one point here. Go back to 0. My 0 is this new x-axis at 30. So go to 30, put the ruler there. So this is my third point. Now go down to the minimum at 45 and then also at 70. So it will be here. Go back to 0 at 60. Here. So this is my 5 critical points. I use pencil to draw. For me, I use pen because if I use pencil, I scared you all cannot see. Please use pencil to draw. Because if you draw wrongly, then you can say erase. So plot out the 5 critical points, then you can draw the shape. So I will have this, and this. Okay, and lastly, of course, label. This is H is equals to 110 plus 40 sine 60. 40, 60. And we are done. This is how you plot the graph. Okay? Okay, now, the last question that they ask is over here. They say, the following table shows the target heart rate for adults of different age group during the exercise. See here, if age 20 years old, the starting to ending heart rate. That means when people exercise at the age of 20, your starting heart rate should be 100, ending heart rate is 170. And so on and so on. So over here they did explain. So now they explain. For instance, 20-year-old is encouraged to start the exercise at about 100 beat and progressively increase to maximum of 170 per minute. Okay? It is not ideal for him to start the exercise at above 100. Okay? This is what it means from the table. So they say, explain whether just now the trigo graph, whether they got follow the advice or not. So now let's come back to just now the part. This is a 40-year-old guy. So if it's a 40-year-old guy, look at here, 40-year-old guy, the starting must be 90 and the maximum must be 153. Correct? 90 and 153. So you come back to here, look at this one. He start at 110, maximum at 150. Correct or not? Minimum at 70. The minimum doesn't matter. The minimum doesn't matter because the critical thing is, the thing to take note is the starting and the maximum. Starting and maximum. Maximum is 153, right? So although the maximum, he did not exceed 153, but he did not start at the recommended heartbeat. So in this case, we will just, okay, this one you will just see the answer. See below. See below. Okay, see here. So the answer explanation, the heart rate at the start shoot up to 110, which is over here. Okay, which is not the recommended, because for his age, 40 years old, he's supposed to start at 90, which is much higher than the recommended 90. Hence, he is not following the given advice. So, he should reduce his starting speed. Understand? During exam, this one a national exam, right? You want to save your pen ink, write a little bit more lah. It's better to give reason. You put a no, the teacher may think that, hey, you guess lah, yes and no is 50-50, right? Correct or not? Actual exam, just explain a little bit more lah. Just need to spend a few seconds to write out a sentence to explain why you put a no, right? Okay? Okay, yay! We did 16 questions today. Well done, okay?